야, 당아서 니년을 현재 가르치게 되었으나 시단에 다때 진이 도지가 동비가스를 놓지 되지 조시 된 거요래. 근데 손자다 놓지 되다 가서 로일라 야복고라. 아니 진짜 인권에 뭐 안되시 자고요래. 세시라서 진짜 인권에 뭐 되시 자고요래.
So as to the point of our discussions at the moment, so we are discussing on the first chapter of this Abhisamayalamkara, the ornament for clear realization, and the main subject matter of that, the first chapter. So as you know, is on the all, the knower, all aspect knower, or the omniscient mind, and the way that this text in this chapter explained. So that we will understand what this omniscient mind is about is through explaining what you call as the 10 topics or 10 stages of realizations, which are the 10 which characterizes or symbolizes the omniscient mind.
다데 아니 다 지다 네 동본이게 돌을 때지 아니 고처를 가오다 아니 고 가오도 되니 용시 와지래 돼요. 그래서와 되니 이나야 네 수수순배 지지네 지 녀대와이나 아니 좀바지다 네 마테 야보시 고용 그래서 온거です. 제로네 차소이 녀사들살네 그래서 야보시 고 그래서 온거됐어와 고르 차송나시 마도 시엔단데 중가다 안더니 몸보시고 그랬어와 대인사 대치신 건줄 수발했어.
So as you engage in just studying these texts, so especially if you are beginners, so even if you are not beginners, so it is because these studies involve so many, learning about so many new terms and the understanding the definitions of the very things that which you have not learned before, and then also goes into the complexity of various, classifications of various things. So therefore, if you some people can get very confused. So, but it's important that you should not think that you are not getting anywhere. So therefore, what is really important is to be consistent with one's this study in striving, putting effort in this studying these subjects, and you can be really assured that if you be consistent with your effort, and then be assured that then you will, when we finish a certain chapter, then you can get a really realize that that you how much you learn, and then get some sort of really very clear ideas about this the subject matter of these texts.
용 가시가다 맞추고 무지그노라네 단니지 용대와이나 무지그노라 카투카투 팽은분이 소선다들이 용시와레스로와 이나야 네다 니 고르나데 차수지만 로차와이나 아니 젠데도 아니 심하다네 가레이나를 배워데 학고 용 그랬으로와 마도네 카투카투 지 제디살라네 데 젠데라 카투데 용문디 소소지가 네들이 용시와레스 아니 telane tesi Durijane, Durijane Yaboyo Resrova.
And the another another challenge that you face in this, learning this kind of topic is that the knowing its applications to one's actual practice, in one's daily practice, and this is also something that you need to understand. You should not cause this challenge to lose your interest and stop, the continuation of this this study, making effort in these studies. So again, this is also, you can find how, at the end of this, this study, then how it kind of this you can find it kind of automatically. You find its relevancy to one's practice, and this is also something that you can. It will come later when you complete the study, and so therefore it's the I thought just mentioned this so that people don't see that if you get lost in this while you are studying, or you don't find any directly related this to what's your practice. So all this you should not discourage you from studying and trying to put as much effort as you can to continue with this study.
And then the Goya put Chosonani, the Pentuya was Sheko Maris, the Tamajun and Nicoan in Chonaya, and Imaupala Sozoguta, Cosachula Sushi Tzoda. And it does Yotamamboka, Nita Numbeko, and it then put on the Ludizalani, good there was Chayaga, and the Tinijan sang this.
So of course, at the completion of this, you are studying this text. So if you have really understood this meaning fully, then there is no need to mention about your the appreciations of the learning this text. But even on if your level of learnings or the knowledge that you gain is, even if it's something in a, let's say, in a mediocre levels, you will still find quite amazing that how as a result of this, that knowledge that you gain from these texts is like opening your wisdom eyes. Like when you can easily understand the teachings given, listening to the teaching by some great masters such as His Holiness Dalai Lamas, and as well as when you read certain books, all the books, you can really appreciate the benefit of this learning this text in terms of the understanding, further developing one's understanding of the dharmas. Okay, so the now of the 10 topics, which symbolizes or characterizes the exalted knower of all, expert, or the omniscient mind. So we finished the first one, which is actually it's a bodhicitta, but literally it's termed as mind generations here. So we finished about that, and now the second topic, which is called in Tibetan as a Dhamma, but in English we translate as a precepts. So that's the also meaning like instructions.
다 동화 때라니야 ngazo udnila ni yewala supa cherjo yund sala ni tombo ni dembani la ni dombe dongo sine ro rung ngola dombe dongo sine ni dembani la dombe dongo ti kasala ni dembani de ni ta de ro jin ro sare sro.
So the precepts again is explained under the the various kind of category or the classifications of the types of precepts. So one of the important categories or classification which we are studying at the moment is under which there are 10 types of precepts. So as we learned before, so these are the precepts or the instructions which are the method or the means which enable one to achieve the goal that you seek with the mind generation, with the bodhicittas. So this now the 10 types of precepts. Okay, so now of the 10, now we finished the first one. So the first precept, which is a precepts which instruct on achieving its own entity. So in another word, the nature or the entity of the Mahayana, achieving or the achievement.
다 간달라니 저도 덴바노 도나 시시 덴바 시수지 가서는 덴바 시시 연구가 했어와 대 간데스레스나 다 너무 맞아 노치 토팔라 녀라니 아니 다 시작 내세데 아니 제타와지 간데 임바데 아니 하고에 제들은 덴바니 숨바레스와 덴바니 숨바레스 아니 다 덴바니 시지 내세텔라니 덴바니다 네 시지 내서 간데지 예와데 덴바니라데 하고도 거레스 델라테네타 원아 드니지 예와이나 다 네 녀스 간데 노체 통발라 녀스 간데 내고 그러세나 아니 덴바실라테네 네 녀스 내고 그래스네 아니 덴바시 거레스.
So under that the first type of precepts, which is a precept which instruct on achieving its own entity. So which we did that topic we finished, and so in that topic we, which really mainly concerning about the meaning of two truths, which is a conventional truth and the ultimate truth. So that two truth really then the explains or give us the presentations of the all the objects that are to be known, because when we talk about gaining this the Buddha mind, which is an omniscient mind, so we are talking about the mind which realizes all the objects of the knowledge, all things to be known. So therefore these the first precepts, which kind of concerning the knowledge or the meaning of the true truth, and because the true truth encompasses all the objects of the knowledge. So then after that, now the next precepts, which is called the precepts which instruct on the object of observations. So this is really to precept which is necessary for one to receive or to find out. So in order to realize or gain the realization of the true truth, and so that now if you refer to these the root text which in the Abhisamayalamkara or the ornament for the clear realization. So there is one, I think it's a verse 1.21/22. So there is just one line which says, yeah, one line just says 1.21, which says the first line, concerning achieving, then the truth. So that's just that line. So concerning achieving, so that is the indicates the first precepts, which is on the concerning the true truth, which is and now then the truth, which is now the second precepts, which is a precept which instructs on the object of observation. So and this is really the second precept is really concerning with the Four Noble Truths.
Onata nochedo ne tawala supa topala deji nyos lengu na dembashi de kande re se disalata neme sache tru yungone machi shejo yisrwa de oni
sache tru. Okay. So the second the precept, as we said, is concerning the object of observations, and which is the about the, which includes about the four noble truth, and why we have to learn about this four noble truth. So that is to which is really essentials in order to achieve the omniscient state of a Buddha, or to just to achieve the a state of liberation from the cyclic existence.
Ane te unta sache tu de karesena tomo ngechi che, ane trunge che, ane koron rawo che, demachi koratsi goro, ane sosi runje te, sosi runje kaltan senyi te shi goro, ane jidu tade topa se tade ijinta yeme keje te shi goro, ane ta chechi chiru ngizu wa wose, dani ta mata su chiru la sopa ngizu wa wose te tires.
So we will learn about these four noble truths, under these six headings. So the first heading is the etymologies. So that's just finding about the term, why these four, term Four Noble Truth, and then the second, literally is about the definitive enumerations. So that is that to why these there are only four. Why these the means to achieve liberation or so on are the categories are put into these four or four, and this four number is a definitive number for which kind of include all the things, anything that one need to realize, one need to know to achieve liberation. And then the order, this is to under which we learn the why these four noble truths are can be presented or can be realized in terms of presentation or in terms of realization. So there is certain order, subsequent order. So finding about that order, and then the fourth is the meaning of each of the Four Noble Truths, and then there is another heading which is called as like investigating one or different. So this is really some sort of analysis on the relationship between this kind of among these Four Noble Truths. And then the last one, the sixth. So then there is something called the 16 aspects or the attributes of the Four Noble Truths.
Ta tombo ngechi tela ne drashe se gore ta ngosi ngechi sena ane tela kare sena ne demba shi se pope demba shi sena da demba shi sena da tani kije she gore tela ne tombo demba se chichi kuje kare sena 아니 다 대마전인데 다 수라래 아니 댐바 따다 대란 댄데 와인자 아니 댐바스네 아니 뜨니 숨고요래 아니 포페 댐바스네 아니 포파노지니 지파노지가 대란네 대와인자 안 포페 댐바스네 아 뜨니가 다시니나 지금도
So the first heading, so which is the etymologies of this the term for noble truth or for Arya, Arya or a superior being, truth. So why these are termed as, first of all, why these four are called as a truth. So they are called as truth because what we learn about these four in the scriptures and from the noble being, like from the Buddha, so really accord with the realities. So therefore, these four, there's a term used. Truth is used for this to you label on these four, and then noble truth. Why they call noble truth or the superior being or the Arya truth is also again to do with the realizations of these four, by the noble beings like the Arya beings, and since these what the Arya being, the mind of the Arya being, realizes this four noble truth again. Also, as it is the really accord with the realities, and so therefore it's like they are termed as these are the noble truth. The truth to the as to the according to the sublime mind of a superior or the Arya beings.
네 시타네 다 디토야네 네 중에 뭐불래 그래 가서 대만이 가서는 시자라 대만이 중에 그래서네 질레가 요래 진짜 다 오네면라더니 중에 그래서 대 가르세고 그래서나 대레 모아지 무구스 아니 되는 유나 아니 되는 디터 말해서 디세고 그랬다 중에서 사람 모나 먹이 니나 만디 봐인자 아니 중에서네
So now the next heading, which is there called definitive enumerations, which is the categories of four, having a four noble truth. That is the categorized into four is the such this classification is or the enumeration is a definitive, is a or the certain in the sense that the if there's a there's no need to have more another classifications. If you have another one, then it get obsolete or it's too many, or to if you take any one of these four out, then there will be they'll be too short. The number is then we won't include all the things that we need to find or we need to learn in here. So therefore this is called this the classifying, the categorizing this truth into four noble truths. So it's called as a definitive number.
제장하다 내가 포페가 대마지대 중에 진짜 가르치나 아니 타와 되느냐마라 때라와지 쪼때라 대제 중에 그래서 가르치는 뒤 때라와지 쪼때라 그네 니무슈지 쪼라 니 두크니스 중에 그래 아니 노주슈지 쪼라 니 고라니스 중에 그래서 그래서
So now just to the explained a bit more on this, why this, the classifying the Four Noble Truths into four is a definitive number. So this is to relating to the, if you like, to the presentations, the presentations of the teachings or the on achieving to achieve the state of liberation or the nirvanas, and so in this, so in overall, the in order to achieve the nirvana or the liberations, so there are really two things that two groups of things that we need to know. So in one group is like the afflictions, about the which are the obscurations or the obstruction to achieve liberations. So in the text, so these are called as the like the afflicted class of phenomena. So there's one class. We need to know the one group called the class, the afflicted class of phenomena, and then on the other hand, then there's the unafflicted or the pure class of phenomena. There's two things, two groups or that we need to know. So therefore, now when we take into account of these Four Noble Truths, then the first two truths, two truths belong to the afflicted, class, the class of phenomena, and whereas the second next two truths are the non-afflicted or the pure class of phenomena.
아니 다 디마체니 코알란 주바다 아니 한 코알에 도구에나요 아니 진대지 호테 종약이요 그래서 가르스나 코알라니 다 치와셰발라니 저 아니 근주된바 아니 저워 진바데 동아된바 니스 종에 되고 그래서 대니라데네 코안코 되고 여러분 아니 다 코알에 도구에나요 아니 도비가 다 로덴체 아니 도비가 저워텔라 아니 고대지 아니 테니스 통데 그게 되고 그래서
so the from so even from the point of view of knowing the how the beings, sentient beings, enter into cyclic existence and then get the and then get subject to this, that the cycle existent, and then as well as how they can free or they can exit from this cycle existence. So from this perspective, the entering and the exiting the cycle existence, again we can understand that this the everything we need to know is covered under these Four Noble Truths. So because the first two truths, which explains the which like noble, for example, the cause of the suffering, the origin of the suffering, which is the truth of the origin of the suffering, and then the result of that, the origin is suffering, which is the truth of the suffering. So that explains all about the enter, how being enter into or then being subject to this, the being bound to the cycle existence, and then on the other hand, in terms of the path, the truth of the path is the means through which the being can free themselves, can from this samsara. So that is the truth of the path. And then when you are free, then they achieve, they reach to the state of cessation of suffering. So which is the truth of cessation.
다 선바 거르싱이들이 니 거르텔라 니 시동수라 레니 아니 다 둥가된바 담보 둥마된가 되네 근주된바 아니 고데 니 들로데 아니 드니 수수쇼요레스 아니 이나야다 시동 진제 거른다고 지그지네 아니 시고고 예와이나 아니 적근주되만 헬시 디질은데고 니 둥가된바시 아니 드네 네 로데시네 로데근데고 고데시그 드니제데 요르데 이네야 아니 대담시어지 저우도 좀 헬시 거라네 지제야 보여레스 와
So now we move to the third heading, which is the order of the Four Noble Truths. So the order in which these Four Noble Truths are presented in the scriptures, then is in the order of like the Noble Truth of sufferings first, and then followed by the truth of origin, and then likewise, so the result, is taught first, and then likewise the truth of the cessation is presented first, and followed by the the truth of the path to cessations. So that is the kind of the order which you. In which the Four Noble Truths are presented in the scriptures, and this, so we will find that it is in this order that the presenting of the result, before the cause is the order which is followed in this. Presentation of the Four Noble Truths in this text, and but on the other hand, there's also, if we talk the order of the Four Noble Truths in terms of the cause and effect, and then of course then of the first two truths, then the truth of cause or the origin. So it is because it's a cause, so it comes first, and then the truth of the sufferings, and then likewise the truth of the path first, and then the truth of cessation after the path, because of the order of the cause and effect.
대응 당아서 동부 등가 덴베시 가서는 네 등가 덴바텔라 네 등가 와인바 아니 넬 시그고요레스 대니 대응 다시 또 등가 덴발라 네 등가지 등가 돈지위 등가 차원도시 등가라서 봐 손시고요레데 동부니 때네 등가 인바 같이다 시동네 하고요레스 이나요 차원도시 등가텔라 등가 인바데 아니 토마 하고 그거래 대 등가인바 고마잖아 네 대도 잔대지 로시고 말했어와 대인자네 토마테 때 말했어
so in in terms of the presentation, so the truth of sufferings is presented first. Now, this is very important. Introducing the noble the truth of suffering first is a very important because without knowing, the properly knowing that the truth of suffering as sufferings, something undesirable, something painful, miserable, so on. Without that, knowing that, then you won't have won't have a thought of wanting to free from this, from suffering, from the truth of the sufferings. So therefore, the first of the truth of the sufferings is presented first, so that the you will find out really what is this find out how the truth of suffering is sufferings, and so because when we talk about the types of the suffering, so we the common classification is into three types of suffering, right? Like the suffering of change, and the suffering of the all-pervasive suffering of conditionings. So now, when we look at these three types of suffering, so really only the first one, the suffering of suffering, which is a very obvious to us, which we can really easily recognize, and we accordingly. So we all wanted to be away from that, but however, we are lacking the understanding of this the next two types of suffering as sufferings.
Lenyung Shunska, Chawan the Chidunga, Matsukuzipo, and the Lensavich Kutelani, and it does Rumepa, and it's Yagana Chelasupi, and it Dungachi, and in Judeas. The so Dungala Shikana Dungan, Juade, and Lenyung Pimbo the Lampa Latin, Shumaresne, the Nigo, Chawad Dungatela, and Dungaimba, and it is a Moshiko.
And especially this the last suffering, which is this the all-pervasive suffering of conditioning. So which is said as a very subtle form of sufferings, and which to understand that, so you really need to we need to meditate a lot. So in general, so we just have to understand that why we suffer, why there is an inevitable suffering in our life, in the form of whether it's in the form of taking birth, or sickness and aging and the death. So the answer is because of this, taking this rebirth of this kind of form of life. That is the reason. That is the cause. So really the cause is the form of life that we have taken at the moment, and so therefore we have to understand that that it is because of this. As long as we find such a life, we cannot really avoid all this the sufferings of birth, death, and so on.
La yone yonda ne sam yone yonda komba machina ani ta tawado toji jamba den ni lo la ma shi ta mare esne ani tani sungo yores.
So it is when we understand that this when we relate in which we able to relate all the form of suffering that we undergo, we experience, is all really mainly because of this the rebirth in this form of life, and then that is the kind of the way to understand what is this third form type of suffering called the all-pervasive the suffering of conditionings. So now the relating to this now the reflections on this Four Noble Truth. So there's one passage which by the Tsongkhapas, Lama Tsongkhapas, in the concise meaning of the stages of the path, where the Tsongkhapa says that without knowing or without reflecting or thinking on the shortcoming of the truth of sufferings, then this thought of seeking, thought of seeking the liberations, will not arise, or the proper, thought of seeking liberation will not arise, and then without the thinking or the reflecting on the origin, the truth of origins, and how through this, because of this truth of origins, how the being we enter, we enter into this, the unending, like a cycle of cyclic existence. Without thinking on this, he said, then this we would never gain, we would never have the idea or the knowledge to to cut the root of cyclic existence.
Oh, tenda wana dunga do ne tendiga dunga demba tena dunga wa yimba shesuna ne ta do garche krisena ni patela ne tendiga dunga te da ne trawa she ni somni ne dunga tela yu je ye to me jite yo ne ta pare ne mo ta pare ne no me ne ni kunjul che wa che ko resro.
So the first important thing is, first point is to really as much as one can, to reflect on this, to contemplate on the truth of sufferings, and understanding the it as sufferings, truth of suffering as in the suffering natures, and then having recognized this the truth of suffering as in the nature of sufferings, then there's what one need to then to consider is to or the question that one need to ask is it possible for one to be separated completely, separated from this suffering or not, and parted oneself from the suffering or not, and is there also need to ask about the question of, need to find out, is there a cause to the sufferings, and if so, what are the causes of the sufferings, and then also to looking at the understanding or reflecting on the nature of the causes of the suffering, whether the cause of the suffering, is it permanent or is there something like the impermanent or not. So therefore we can understand that the why then after the presentation of the truth of sufferings, then there's a presentation on the truth of the origin of the sufferings.
Tendriga pa chewa zoti tsala ni tendrabe dunga demba teyo ane ledo nyemu bale shunga shine ni ta ten ledo nyemu bate ne punde chilo shi ngo res.
So therefore the as as one now think on this, the causes or the origin of the sufferings, origin of the suffering, and then the we need to recognize that the causes are mainly the two, included in two, that is the karma and the delusions, or the mental afflictions. So these are the two.
Mari pato, nyemu pato, leto nyemu pala supiga, nyanzi chichimbate hako yungu yares. Te hako sona karsane tanda lordi dele suwa noji. Kanjun kowe njuro ma sona kowe tsawa chetsa ma shepis. Leto nyemu piga, nroton raboto, tiga nipi nese te hako sona, tela tene, kowa dega yawa tene, chazu hako res, rwa.
So by thinking on, contemplating on this whole topic of the karma and the delusion or the mental affliction as the causes of the sufferings, then one can come down to the point, down to the point where you see that the root of the sufferings, root of all this is a delusion in the form of like ignorance. Ignorance. So therefore, when you understand that, then as this, as I quoted before, from the Tsongkhapa's these concise the lamrim of the stages of the path. Then, as Tsongkhapa says, then you would really understand how to cut, because how to remove or how to uproot the cyclic existence. Just as by understanding this true suffering, properly, then you would have the thought, or the desire for the liberation, desire or the wish to achieve liberations will arise.
Tani ta tani ne ledo nyemu ma ni tani ta shinjalo yin ba ta tani yishin tu zala ani te punji ye ba ani punni ba ani tani ji to yin da zala ne ngupa nya de chi ni to yin ko resrwa ta ngupa te ya nya de she go wala ani ta karal te ku se jewa chi de zala ne ta lo de la te ne to go ha ko iza 제자 아니 거르트니 지예와이자 아니 동보둥가다 아니 드니 근주된바다 아니 드니 고대다 드니 로데세 드니 마스와레스
So this understanding of the cause and effect relationship between the karma and the mental delusion as a cause, and the various sufferings as a result. So when you understand that, then you can see and also understanding that this cause of the suffering, which is the karma and mental delusions. So these are something which can be eliminated. It can be eliminated, and also. You also you need think about can one have the capacities? Is it possible for one to overcome to eliminate this the causes of suffering, which is the karma and the delusions? So when you think on this, so anyway, how after the reflections, after the reflection or the contemplating on the truth of the sufferings, so the true origin of the suffering, how this lead one to contemplating on the possibility of eliminating this cause and even by oneself. So this shows that when you realize, or this shows the connections of the presentation of the third noble truth, that is the noble truth of the cessation of the sufferings, comes because you realize that if the karma and the delusions are possible, if it's possible to eliminate it, then that means that then it is possible to actualize or to realize the truth of cessations.
Penane tombo neba to zogane suzul na chi na sona ane ne de shipan de gro ne karre na so so machi ane de shi yesla ne ta de punjo gdo so te jedu chebo punjo gdo so ni jedi jepun de shewa ta ane ta tene ane pune ane ne tele drowan de bi lo shi gro wa tene drowala ni me de bi lo shi o ta ti por no ji de res.
And then how after that, after understanding that that it is possible to actualize or to realize the truth of cessations, then then one would want to or one will then reflect on. So the means how one can realize this truth of cessations. And so therefore the after that is the presentation on the noble truth of the path. This is how it comes. The order. You can see the reasons behind this the order in which these four noble truths are presented, and so this is also similar to if you use an example of how someone who is ill and who's suffering from some illness, then because the person recognizes that what the pain of the that you have to put up with that illness. So therefore, there is a thought. You have the natural thought of the wanting to be to be a cure of that illness, and so therefore this thought would then lead one to find out you want to know what is the causes, or and then to is it possible to be cured from that illness, and so in this way you find out that that in order to be cured, when you realize that that you can be this disease illness can be cured, and then you realize that you go find out about how to cure. Then you find out the medicines, and so it's also the similar to the way we understand the Four Noble Truths.
Ani Jalamela Karasuyor, Tate Kunda, Ni Dunga Demba Tomboto, the Kunjuta, and then Gupada, the Lord, the Nigu Kun, Tate Impichinse, Karasuyor, Senan, Jalamale, Nena Shija Net Jena Punjalas, the Netoja, Men Temba Shawata, Dunga Jatu, Tengu Patu Tejil Long, Shija Puja, Repasha, Temba Shas, what is in the restatic to Yanat. So, in fact, these analogies of this
ill, someone with the illness, and then and then making that with regard relating to that to the Four Noble Truth. So it is this mention. It is the source of that this analogy, and also this order of this Four Noble Truth. You can also find in the Maitreya's text, the sublime continuums. So where the Maitreya said that that illness to be known, and the causes of the illness to be avoided, and the state of cure to be sought, and the medicines leading to the cure must be taken. So likewise, the suffering is to be known, the cause of the suffering to be eliminated, the state of cessation to be actualized, and the path to be followed.
On that, ni such a Javani, ni Damba Susiku Moching it is Rwa. Then Zanita Tombo, any Dunga Dembi the Karisena, any Knemushi Demba Konshi, any Motopato, Dungata, Dungawata, the Henjidoki Tomata, Rungochi, Kuzoko Domepa, Ji, Chewat Shivi, Rat Chewate, Dunga Dembi, Sinis and other Mos and Artanija. Yes.
So now this will do for that the third heading, which is the order of the Four Noble Truth. Now we move to the fourth heading, which is the meaning of each of the Four Noble Truth. Now let me first give the definitions of the first truth, that the Noble Truth of Sufferings, which you find in the commentary, the text that is used in the Sera monastery, so Serachia monastery. So where in the text the noble truth of suffering is defined as an object of an afflicted class of truth, characterized by the four, which is of being impermanent, miserables, empty of independent self, and the self of a person, which is its own identities.
Then Yewa Della, Yewa Nijoda, Nisanjo, Nichitona Momontina, Tatanino Shawina, and then Yewa Nijote, Nature Ni, Tane, Ni, Tanji Dechicom, and Nature Tino eating Sengela Super, Nature eating Nijojan this. And Yewa Sancho Della, and Dungaji Dungadon, and Jewi Dunga, the Chowan Dungas, and there's a Yewa Mandawa Nishi this. So in the same text where the truth of sufferings is categorized into first in two and then into three. So when it's categorized into two, then the two are the impure, like an impure world, and the impure beings, being who are living in that world. So these are the if you like, the environment, impure environment, and the impure being living in that. And that's two. And then if you into three, categorized into three, so which are the three types of sufferings, which is suffering of suffering and of change, and the all pervasive suffering of conditioning. Ane teche, ta nipa te la kanji dembatera wa. Ane cheza kanji dembatela, ane kane nyamushi demba konshi. Ta jakanju rachi chenji chewa te shibi rata shewa te kanji dembi tsenyi isri jondus.
And then in the same text, the second noble truth of origin, which is defined as an again same as that truth of suffering, as an object of afflicted class of truth, characterized by the four of being, which is really like the four aspects, four attributes of the truth of origin. So the four of being, like the cause origin, and then the strong producer and conditions.
Tela yena ne lech kunju temba to nyemu kunju temba ta zo na ni jo yo this ro.
And the truth of origin is mainly put into two, categorized into two types, divided into which is the origin of truth, of karma and of delusions.
Ta lech kunju temba tela ni ma je seno chile seno ma yin bi le mo yo le se son sha jun this ro. Tani ta seno chile sengi te giwe le se go ta ge ma she wan pe chile da nin de la she wan pe chile la su pa la ane seno chile se this ro. Ane nyen ro she wan pe chile de la ane seno ma yin bi le se ane jun ko la she wan pe chile la mo yo le se ne tani she go res ter chi pa ane ta kunju de be kun to de yo res
su kham lo la
zu ko mo yo le
no. And then furthermore in the text, then they goes on we divide the noble truth of origin into two, right? The karma and delusions. Then the text then talks about the divisions of the karma, division of the karma. So which is there are three types of karma, which is meritorious karma. The included within samsaras, and then the unmeritorious karma, and then unwavering karmas. So these are the three types of karmas that the categories of karma. So to give an example of each one of them, then the example for the meritorious karmas included within samsara. So that is like the virtuous action of the virtuous karmas which will result in a good rebirth. So that's the called as the meritorious karma. And then the unmeritorious karmas, which is to the non-virtuous, karma to take bad rebirth, and then third category, which is called as unwavering karma, unwavering or unchanging karma. So that the example for that karma is the kind of the karma which serve as a cause to take the rebirth in the godly or the celestial realm of like the form realms, So that's this kind of karma to take rebirth in that form realms is called as an unwavering or unchanging karma.
Ane ta nipa ta nyemu tela ni tsanye tu tu nye se la supa yores ro ina ta nga tsanye tu nda wuti tunga ma shawa ina ninde cho kunro ni nga ja nyemu che chi maripa nyemu che chi tawa nyemu che chi tenzo sine ta tenzo te shago yores ta.
Okay, so that's just a brief about karma, and then as to the delusions, then usually we talk delusions in terms of the is a truth, dude. Six root delusions or the mental afflictions, and then there are the 20 secondary, mental afflictions. So just to name the six, the root the mental affliction or delusion. So that would be like attachment, anger, pride, and then the deluded ignorance, and then deluded view, and the deluded doubt.
That's something ningu deng tseni kata jorsen nojo shuji demba kanji ningu ba shewa chano ngenju ju chewa tsebi rat shewa de gu deng tseni sen chondus.
And then now just move to the definition of the truth of cessations, which again from that same text, which is the text is called like a general meaning of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. So that's the text. So where the truth of cessation is defined as an object of an unafflicted or pure class of truth, characterized by being, there's a four attributes or the four aspects of the truth of cessation. So characterized by being peace, cessations, superior state, and definite emergence.
Ta tini za ta ngude tela shitong yewa ta yune ma mumbu shiye yorti ina ya ta ndo dewa ina nga zo pina nyerung lawa pope ijaja ni nyeda kato la so piga ni ngude chi che ni da chombe jela ni nyeda leshe pompiga ta ngude chi che ni taga no yuga ni ta teche lawa pope ga jela ni ta denza shida kato pompiga ni ngude chi che ni ta suje pope ga jela ta mane mi nyung des shida to ta dawa ni pompiga pomba chi che ro o ta tani ga ri ma dawa shina shana ni te ching go tsale la me ro
so with regard to the classification of this truth of cessation, so there are this text goes on a call it so many different different categories. So so now to cut short, then we can say that it can be classified into four, in terms of the truth of the cessations, within the those like the Hinayanas, who are on the part of Hinayana, part of learners, and who have the truth. They can have a truth of cessation which has qualified by by having abandoned the, if you like, the artificials, obstructions to liberations, and then that's the one type. Then those with the arhat or of the Hinayanas, then they have a truth of cessations, as a cessation, as a qualities of having abandoned now the innate or the innate, yes, the obstructions to liberations, obstruction to liberation. So that's true. And then you could have, in terms of the those on the Mahayana path, and then you could have those on the Mahayana path of Mahayana path of learning. So can have those who have overcome the artificial obstructions to omniscient mind, and so that can be that state of the elimination of that artificial the obstruction to omniscient mind, so which is the one kind of like the cessations, the truth of cessations, and then the Buddha or the fully enlightened beings, so who have the truth of cessation in the form of the total the eliminations of the obstructions to omniscient mind.
다 저와 다 로데는 세니텔라 네 노주슈지 덴바 강와시 라지바 저와 년제지 저와듯이 라드시와데 로데지 세니 세니션도스.
And then the move to the definition of the truth of path to the cessation. So it is an object of unafflicted or pure class of truth, characterized by being then the four the attributes of the truth of path. So the being the path, the appropriate means, actualizations, and the means of definite emergence.
다텔라 예와데 저거 들으라 아니다 long 아주 long 논이 능가 시고요. 디노네 돈로도 고로 몰라 선데 저거 그래서 로데 로데라.
So the truth of path is the normally we put or classified into 5 types, 5 paths, 5 levels of the path, from the path of the accumulations, the preparations, seeing, and meditation, and the normal learning. So of course the only the part of the last 3, that is the part of seeing and the meditation and normal learning. So they are the literally or the true, the actual, the truth of path.
다 사칭어왕 걸로 다 가서 능아데마도 근주데만 가와리 말이 진짜 예마에 드리다. 아니 고대도 런데니니 진짜 예마에 가와이미 드니세디샤 스로와. 다 대체로 디콜 다시 동 데마시 고대 가서 로르네 몸부처럼서 권유되지래 스로와. 권유사레스. 대자다 디 능아도 데마도 근주데만이 이전탄되면도 대치래한데 문 가와되면도 그러와 로데도 고데니 간에랜도 있던 소소치 제와시 소노시 도나야 보여레스.
So now we come to the 5th heading, which is the investigating the one or different. So that's the heading. So in this under this heading, so there's in the text, so we find some sort of the analysis on the relationship between these among these truth among these 4 noble truths. So for, let's say, for example, the relationship between the first 2 truths and then between the next the last 2 truths. So therefore, before the next week teaching, so if you have a time, you can have a thought on this, whether the what is the relationship between the noble truth of suffering and the truth of the origin of the sufferings. So you can since the you have heard the on this learn about this the teaching on the 4 noble truths many times in the past. So so I'm assuming that so you have some an idea and some knowledge about the each of the 4 noble truths. So in this the investigations or analysis, so if you can find out whether there can be a common locus, or in another word, there can you come up with something which can be both the truth of suffering and the truth of the origin of sufferings, or can be one but not the other, or and the vice versa. So you can think on this, and likewise do the same the comparisons, between the truth of the cessation and the truth of the path.
당기 녀라니 덴바시 덴바레라용 치시시 신고는 진이샤셔레서와 아니 드니게 치시시전에 실어니 제치주요레서 아니 지루디가 안텐도데 디딘라고 시시에네 다들이 만만다는 로헤레서와.
And so we might come back to this in the next week teachings, and in the next week teaching, so we will then continue with the next heading, which is on the 16 aspects. So that is the 16 attributes of these Four Noble Truths. So which each one of the Four Noble Truths each one has four attributes, and we will look into these 16 attributes in the next week teachings. So we'll stop here tonight.
Yeah. Zonju Zenju Rambo Che Maje Bano Che Chewa Nyamba Mepa Gone Gondo Peva